Hi everyone, and welcome back to another resource spotlight video. This week's resource is all about this book, The Gardening Dog by Cindy, I think it's Wume. The theme is all about gardening and kindness and friendship, and also about nature-based study. So this lovely little book is all about a dog who dreams about making her own little garden. There's a few setbacks that she has, and it's all about a relationship that she forms with a little boy and how it expands from there, really. It's quite a nice little book. It's talking about gardening, but it's also touching upon, how we make friends and things like that. The book's really sweet. There's certain things I like about it, that, it does teach about patience, which gardening is all about, really. It talks about kindness and friendship and making friends, and that even some of the quietest of people can make friends, but we just maybe make friends in a different way. The age range for this book, I'd say it's maybe for youngsters, so anywhere between 4 or 7 or 4 or possibly up to the age of 9. Definitely for maybe a younger for a younger reader. Rachel's 5, and you really enjoyed this book, didn't you? You really like this book. Do you want to tell everybody what you thought to the storybook, The Gardening Dog? What do you like about it?
I like when the dog goes to Lewis's home and named her
Yeah, she doesn't know her name, does she?
No.
She doesn't know if she's ever had a name, and they name her
Daisy.
Why do you think they name her Daisy?
Because she loves planting.
She does love to plant, doesn't she?
And Daisy always says,
What does Daisy always say?
just wait and something pretty will happen.
If you just wait, something wonderful
will happen.
That's right. So off the back of this book, we decided to actually have a go at growing our own seeds, and I've decided that maybe a runner bean or a sunflower seed would be really good. We chose runner beans in the end for the girls so that they could plant them themselves, and we got a clear plastic tub, so not just your general gardening pot. I actually purposely went out and got a clear tub so the girls could see the germination, they could see the roots forming, and they could also watch the stem come up, and we could watch it over time as it grew and grew and grew, and also measure it as it got taller and taller and taller. We haven't measured it yet because we've actually took those runner beans to our allotment and planted them in the allotment, so we are going to measure them as they go.
That's why we do have allotment.
We might have to put a little clip in of our runner beans at the allotment, and maybe either you measuring them, or if I've got a clip of the girls planting the beans in, I'll insert it somewhere here. So we decided to grow a plant that we could one, see how it germinated, learn about where its roots were, and also see how tall it grows and what its leaves look like, didn't we?
And if you want to know this, from our allotment, and we're 3 days ago, and we got some radishes.
Yeah, we've been growing some radishes as well. So it's quite a nice little book that leads on with, if you like gardening or you're doing some gardening or nature-based study with children, this is a nice little book for that. I've also made a little list just in front of me here of other extended learning. Some of the stuff we've done, other stuff we haven't, but if you wanted to expand on this, you could. So for instance, for sort of like the sciencey area of it, I thought about exploring different parts of a plant, so like naming different parts of a plant, learning about seed germination, and also maybe touching upon photosynthesis and what it is. Rachel's really creative and loves art, I
like science.
So I also thought about, once our beans are grown, we could do some drawings of them, or as they're growing we could do like observation sheets, or even draw the plant life cycle, draw our dream garden or vegetable patch, or even make those little like plant or veggie markers you get to put in your vegetable pots. You could maybe make one of those, and it could be a homemade one on a little lollipop stick or something, or a little sign. We thought something like that. If you wanted to do something that was more leaning towards writing, we thought you could do like maybe a journal. We haven't actually done a journal ourselves.
We have.
We have, but not for this project. So you could maybe write daily records of what your plant is doing, or when you planted it and what you did with it. We also thought about like maybe writing a story that could be similar to the gardening dog. It could be themed for another animal. So maybe like the gardening cat or the gardening rabbit or something like that.
Or the gardening duck.
The gardening duck, yeah. It could be a creative story, yeah.
Or the gardening cow.
Oh, okay, yeah. And if you wanted to incorporate like maths, we thought about like counting the leaves on the runner bean as they start to grow. We thought about measuring it, so you could measure it with different things, not just a ruler. You could compare it to maybe like a stack of Lego blocks if it's in your house or your back garden.
12, 13, 14.
You could estimate how many beans you think you might get from your bean plant, things like that. So to wrap up this book and this sort of like mini study, it's been a great little springboard for learning for us. There's been lots of different avenues we could go down. It's been fantastic that we've enjoyed the story. The girls have took quite a lot from it, and that we've been then able to lead on to actually planting something and watching it grow, and then also taking some like drawings of it and having the discussions about like what would be in your garden. And yeah, I'd liked how it's been a springboard that we could just go into lots of different areas. And obviously now the beans are at our allotment and they are growing, and it's still continuing because we're going to harvest those beans hopefully, and the girls are going to watch them and measure them as we go along. So yeah, I think it's been a nice little round. In some ways it's a very short book, but the fact that we've been able to delve into lots of different things with it has been a nice sort of like extended learning. So if you've got any favourite gardening books that your children really enjoy, please share them down in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. We're always looking for a nice little like nature book or something like that. Our girls are really into nature. They love being outside. One of their favourite things is our allotment, and it used to be going to forest school. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it, and subscribe. It really helps the channel. And if you'd like to see more content, yeah, let me know. I'm hoping that you're all enjoying the resource spotlight stuff. We've done a couple now. Please let me know any feedback, and if it's of any use or giving any ideas, and if you'd like me to continue, that would be great. And I'll hopefully see you on our next one. Bye.